Before the United States was a country, before it had constitution, a flag, or even a name, this land was already alive with the civilizations. Hey guys, welcome back to the Unfiltered Political Lens Podcast. We're going to get right into it. Advanced societies, trade networks, spiritual traditions, and governing systems thrived across North America for thousands of years. Then came colonization, and nothing would ever be the same. In the late 15th and early 16th centuries, European powers began exploring and claiming territory in the Americas. Spain, France, and the Netherlands, and eventually England established settlements driven by three powerful motivations: wealth, power, and religion. The French focused heavily on trade, particularly in our developing relationships with various native tribes across Canada and the Mississippi River Valley. The Spanish were among the first to establish a major presence, building missions and settlements throughout the Southwest and Florida. Gold, land, trade routes, and the spread of Christianity became the engines of expansion. In 1607, Jamestown was founded in Virginia, the first permanent English settlement. It struggled with disease, starvation, and conflict, but tobacco cultivation eventually made it profitable. In 1620, the Pilgrims arrived in Plymouth, seeking religious freedom. Over time, 13 English colonies formed along the eastern seaboard, each developing its own economic and political identity. But it was the English colonies along the Atlantic coast that would ultimately shape what became the United States. But colonization was not simply a story of opportunity and new beginnings. It was also a story of displacement, violence, and disease. Native American populations declined dramatically due to the European illness like smallpox, a disease to which indigenous communities had no immunity. Land was seized through treaties, warfare, and forced removals. Entire cultures were pushed aside as European settlements expanded westward. At the same time, colonization laid the foundation for another tragic institution, chattel slavery. Beginning in 1619, enslaved African Americans were brought to Virginia. Over the next 2 centuries, millions would be forcibly transported across the Atlantic in the brutal system known as the transatlantic slave trade. Their labor became central to the economic growth of the colonies, especially in the South. Yet colonization also planted the seeds of self-government. Colonists developed assemblies, town meetings, and legal frameworks that reflected English political traditions. By 1776, those tensions erupted into revolution, and the colonies declared independence. Over time, the tensions grew between the colonies and the British Crown over taxation and representation. So when we talk about colonization in America, we're talking about a complex, layered history. Understanding colonization means confronting all of it: the ambition, the conflict, the resilience, and the consequences that still echo today. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Because the story of America doesn't begin in 1776, it begins long before, in that first collision between worlds that forever changed this continent. Peace.